Hello, this is Taylor Elwood, your business wizard for eccentric entrepreneurs. And today, in our series on failure, I'm going to talk about fronting and failure. What do I mean by fronting? I mean putting on a brave front. Putting on a front of fake optimism and really pretending to be something you're not. You're probably thinking, what are you talking about, Taylor? Well, here's what I'm talking about. Over the many years that I went networking, I can't tell you how many times I'd go out there, and even though things were really going wrong with my business at the time, I would put on a smile, fake little smile, and I'd say everything was going great, that I was getting clients, the business was going fine. And you know what? I told people that because I was afraid to admit that I needed help, and I was afraid to admit that I was failing. And guess what? I'm reasonably sure that many of the people at those events were also failing. But you know what? We all said we're fine. We're all doing well. Well, we all know the truth about what was really going on when people say they're fine. They're anything but. I'm fine is a social response that's been crafted as a way to avoid really allowing yourself to be vulnerable and share that, you know what, guess what? You're having some troubles or difficulties. Part of the reason why people have so much trouble handling failure in business is because they don't know how to express it. You know, we're told by all these different books on business about how you have to be positive, how you always have to have a smile and be positive, law of attraction, and all that fun schlock. And that's exactly what it is. It's schlock. Okay? Because you know what? The law of attraction isn't going to make your business become more successful. What's going to make your business become more successful is going out there, doing the actions you need to do, learning from your failures, and figuring out what makes you successful. Anyone who's an overnight success really isn't. They've had years of failure and hard work. They didn't have law of attraction. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't value in maintaining a positive outlook. In fact, if you own a business, you kind of have to be positive. But you shouldn't be so positive that you can't see the trees for the forest. You need to be able to see what's right in front of you. You need to acknowledge when things aren't going as well as you want. And better yet, if you can admit it to other people, then that empowers you. You say, how could that empower me, Taylor? After all, I'm being vulnerable here. I'm sharing that I'm not doing that great. People are going to look down on me. No, they're really not. And the reason why is because pretty much every business owner out there knows what it's like to be in your shoes at one time or another. They've all gone through their own experiences where they were failing and things weren't working out. The one toxic problem we have in our business culture today is that we put on these fake smiles and we pretend everything's okay. So stop. Do yourself a favor and stop telling yourself that everything is okay. If something's wrong with your business, if you're feeling depressed and unhappy, if you're failing, then say it. And yes, other people may be uncomfortable. Maybe you'll be uncomfortable. But until we acknowledge the fact that we're failing, we can't make a difference. And until we get rid of this fake positiveness, this notion of, well, everything's okay, everything's fine, we're not doing ourselves a favor. Stop putting on a front. Stop pretending that everything is okay. I learned that when I stopped pretending that everything was okay, that it was actually one of the most empowering moments in my life as a business owner. Because I was no longer putting all this pressure on myself for everything to be okay. I was no longer beating myself up for the fact that I didn't have, X number of clients, or that I didn't have X number of people signed up. Instead, I could really step back and objectively look at it and say, okay, well, why don't I have X number of clients? What am I not doing? Why aren't my classes getting the sign-ups? What do I need to do? It's only when we're willing to be brutally honest with ourselves and honestly accept the fact that yes, we've failed right now, that we can actually learn from failure, that we can step back and start saying, well, I can learn from failure. But when you put on a front, when you pretend that everything is fine, you're lying to yourself. Yes, you're lying to all the other people around you, but you're also lying to yourself. And deep down inside, you know you're lying to yourself. And you don't like it. But you do it anyway because you've been told, well, you got to be positive. Because if you're not positive, people won't want to do business with you. I'm going to tell you something. All the positivity in the world did not get me clients. All the positivity in the world will not get you clients. Pretending everything is fine does not help you. In fact, if anything, people know. They're there know that something's up. They don't know what it is, but they know something's up, and it drives them away. If you want genuine success, you have to be willing to handle genuine failure, and part of that means being able to admit it to yourself. I'm not saying that you need to go to a networking meeting and vent and express everything that's going wrong in your life, but why not be able to say, for example, you know, I've been coming to this networking event for X number of months or years, and I really haven't gotten a lot of clients. I'd really like to figure out why that's not the case. What is it you guys don't know? What am I having trouble conveying to you? Or being able to say, you know, I'm really having a tough time in my business right now. I'm trying to market myself, but it just doesn't seem to be working. You know what you might get out of it is you might actually get people who are willing to help you. People who will point you in the direction of other people, or people who will say, well, you know, I've been through that experience myself. Now, I'm not going to say there won't be situations where people will say, well, hey, you should just do business with me. There might be, and maybe you should explore doing business with them. But really, in the end, being honest with yourself, being open to the fact that, yes, you're failing right now, that your business isn't going the way you thought, that you don't have the number of clients or anything like that. Doing that is actually one of the best things you can do. It is a liberating experience because you're no longer holding it in. You're no longer pretending. You're just being honest with yourself and with everyone else. And that's what we need. That's what we need from you. We need you to be honest. Because when you're honest, then the rest of us can be honest as well. So if you're putting on a front right now, you have my sympathies. I know it's rough owning a business sometimes. I know how scary it can be when things aren't working out the way you want it to be. But let me ask you this. Please stop putting on a front. Just be honest with yourself and share it with us. You can share it in a comment below. You can share it in the Eccentric Entrepreneurs group. But share it with us. Let us help you. Because you're not alone. And the way that we handle fear and failure and all that is that we learn to confront it, but we also learn to reach out to the people who can help us. Thanks for watching, and if you have a comment, leave it below, and don't forget to click on the dragon over here to subscribe.